in for the beginnings of our driver availabilities with the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series drivers. And we're leading it off with the Daytona 500 champion, and that is the driver of the number 11 FedEx Ground Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing, Denny Hamlin. Denny, I know you had a busy week, a lot of great media, a lot of great stuff coming out of that win. Maybe just talk about how the week went as a two-time Daytona 500 winning champion.
It was good. It was definitely busy, right up until practice, to be honest with you. So it seemed like this time was a lot fuller week than the previous one. That or I was just sober for it, one of the two.
Awesome. All right. If you have a question for Denny, please raise your hand. We'll get you a mic, and we'll start up here to Bob.
Bob Pockris, Fox Sports. Did you learn anything in that practice? And if so, what?
Yeah, not really. It kind of everything kind of drove like I thought it would. We made one long run there to kind of get an idea of what it was going to do, and it was kind of status quo. Everything is kind of what I thought. I hadn't got to drive it yet. I hadn't done any off-season testing. I hadn't run in the simulator or anything like that. So you go out there and you run. You're just like everyone else. Your fastest lap's your first lap. Everyone adapts pretty quickly. It'll just be interesting to see, when everyone's out there and you have traffic in front of you, how the cars react.
Dustin?
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. Denny, this is obviously a track on restarts where the inside line has certainly had a lot of success in the preferred line. With this package, will you further be penalized if you're starting on the outside line? And is it a case that teams will start counting cars leaving pit road like you see at Martinsville and some other places like that?
Well, I think a lot of the reasons that the inside line was so important is that the top just had way more wheel spin, but with less horsepower, that should be a little less. So maybe not. I don't think it'll be as detrimental, actually. Probably the other way around. So yeah, I think that overall, until I see it, I'm not sure. But in all series, even the lower horsepower, truck series or whatever, the bottom always had an advantage. And it seems like anywhere with a tri-oval, Charlotte is one I can think of. You want to be on the bottom simply because your car's loaded properly when you're on the bottom versus the top. So I'm sure there'll still be a little bit of an advantage on the bottom, but I would think with less horsepower and less wheel spin, it should be less.
Tim?
Thanks, Mike. Denny, Tim is playing Pit Stop Radio. We all know that this track loves to eat up tires. About how many laps do you think that you'll be able to go on a set of tires before you have to stop for fuel?
Well, last year we ran a lot. I know we kind of had a back and forth strategy with the 4-car most of the day. He pitted extra time where we stayed out longer because our car didn't fall off as bad. His strategy worked a little better. Seemed like he was able to gain ground through the